Hello everyone, welcome back to Raising Vibrations. Today we're doing chart of the day, the 3rd of November 2015. Hope everybody is feeling fantastic, and if you're not, you should be doing something about it. All right, so let's have a look at what we are dealing with here with chart of the day. Okay, so the sun is still in Scorpio and the moon has moved into Leo. So this is a very interesting chart, to be honest. I feel that today will be one of those, or today and probably within the next at least day and a half, 2 days, I feel there'll be quite a lot of insight coming through regarding the nodes. Okay, so if you have a look on the chart right now, you can see that the node is actually at 0 degrees Aries and 0 degrees Libra, right? Now, when I always look at the nodes, I see as the subtle emotional body that we have as energetic beings, okay? And this is how we, again, I use the word subtle because it really is. It's this emotional nature and how we respond to things that is connected to the nodes, but it's subtle. You know, you're not like paying attention to it in every single moment unless you are literally in the moment, like really connected to it. But that nodal axis is going to be shifting into the Virgo Pisces axis, which there is a video on my YouTube sharing some insights regarding what I feel that will be about. And I also am feeling a deep need to want to share some insights regarding what the Libra Aries axis has been about for us. So I'll definitely see if I can get that out ASAP. But coming back to what I'm trying to say here is that this nodal axis is shifting. And I feel that this is a big period for us, not only because of the fact that Mars and Venus are both conjunct each other as the nodes are at 0 degrees. I mean, come on, right? Both of them are totally conjunct each other in Virgo, and we're having the nodes in Libra Aries, which is essentially the same ruling signs, right? Aries being Mars, Venus being Libra. So there's a new entire relationship that we as human beings are having to ourselves, and then through that extension in the collective field. And of course, how this can play out is many different levels depending on which dimension you're on. But from the dimension that I'm speaking from, this is a deep healing modality. This is where we're really, really analyzing the inner nature of ourselves, and we're really accessing that potent sense of meaning that is a part of this experience. At the end of the day, so many of our lives that we've experienced, especially over the last 2,000 years, has been very much trapped in limited awareness and state of consciousness. So most of our projections, most of our ideas about what we think reality is and so on and so forth have been conditioned through what I believe are these heavy distortions, okay? This disconnect from our beingness, our disconnect from seeing the totality, the closed third eye, So a lot of this Virgo stuff for me, what I believe, if we can really tap into it, is really healing within ourselves and closing these duality portals that are in our energetic fields that allow us to see more holistically. And this is a big thing, holistic thinking, seeing ourselves as balance and wholeness. And this is a big deal because wholeness itself, Pisces, Virgo, and balance, Libra, Aries, archetypal structures are very much here for us today. And I feel like if you can tap into this idea of seeing each other as connected, and that even though in the third dimension, which is the perception of the body and your consciousness just trapped in that place, that even though it perceives itself as separate, there is no separateness. There is actually unity. And if you feel sad and the other person is feeling, if you feel betrayed by something, there is a necessity to create balance through perceiving the other person's emotional response in contrast to your own. In other words, if I'm going to say to you, I'm leaving to go to a different country, and it's important for me to do this next part of my journey because I need to take charge of something that I've never done. And now this is an opportunity that's coming up for me. And your friend turns to you and says, yeah, that sucks, and might even react to you in a way that feels abandoned and betrayed. You create the balance and wholeness through recognizing that your action is creating an opposite reaction. And that opposite reaction is literally something that is occurred naturally through natural law. So to create wholeness and balance within your own perspective and to heal relationships is to see the unity, i.e., if you go in one direction, that is naturally going to then cause the opposite side to operate in a way that is in its own space. So this person goes, I feel betrayed, I feel abandoned, I was here for you type of thing. You can actually create a unity by understanding that this is probably going to be the case. There is probably going to be a situation where if you go in one direction and you leave this person behind, that they will feel in some way, shape or form abandoned by it. So you can respond by having more empathy based on understanding where they're coming from, and then hopefully by creating balance within themselves, they can see that this is a choice that you're making that even in yourself is incredibly difficult. And so both sides of the coin, as it were, are equally perceived to create the middle point, which is, the entirety of this spectrum of light. This whole entire universal structure is about polarity. And if you can remain centered, i.e. in the middle, then you can actually see both sides of the situation and actually create a PowerPoint. So to me, that's what I feel is a big part of this Libra, moving out of Aries, Libra nodal axis, i.e. that moving out of it. And then of course this Mars Venus, like really, really strong conjunction today in Virgo, where we get to analyze the nature of the duality. Of course, whenever we see Virgo, we see Pisces. And that's what I mean again. When we're looking at this chart, we're not just looking at, okay, so Venus and Virgo or Venus and Mars is in Virgo, so it's all the Virgo stuff. But we fail to recognize the polarity of Virgo, which is Pisces. And in fact, Pisces is just as instrumental as what Virgo is. In fact, the definitions that we use to describe Virgo is inherent in Pisces. It's Pisces that actually influences our ability to tap into what Virgo symbolizes. So as we recognize this balance and wholeness situation, and we can honestly tap into what is available to us today, it is about really connecting to the natural law of polarity and how this world in which we exist within, this dimension, this universe, and the relationship to things can be easily understood if we recognize ourselves as one pole, okay, and that we are interacting with another pole, right? And when those two poles are interacting with each other, they are creating a spectrum of light, right? And in that spectrum of light is where the Virgo stuff is what I'm focusing on. That's where I'm saying, let's analyze how that interaction goes. Is it distorted? If it's distorted, then how can we heal it? We heal it by understanding the separateness that exists within us and then finding wholeness and balance through that separateness so that we alleviate conflict, right? And this is, I think this is a big deal, Look at Saturn at the moment. Saturn's actually making a beautiful trine to that south node. And again, Saturn's in Sag. And let me put it to you this way. If you look at Saturn and Neptune, they're squaring each other. And the whole relationship towards creating duality comes from the belief systems of separateness, right? The belief systems of separateness, belief systems being Sagittarius and the separateness coming from Pisces. So you've got Saturn squaring it and saying, hey guys, let's heal this kind of like work here. Let's dissolve these old definitions. And then it's trining the south node saying, hey, let's really access these deeper insights regarding what's available for us right now. And that comes through self-analysis. So this is a very introspective day, in my opinion. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to actually share with you was the fact that Pluto, there at the top of the chart, and Chiron are actually making a finger of God to the moon, which is a big deal. Okay. Now these guys are 13, 14, and 17. So it's a very tight angle. Now a finger of God, or a yod, okay, is a very misunderstood archetype. Now, when you're looking at this in your birth chart, you've got to understand what is actually going on with this angle before you can even start to begin to fathom out what you are looking at, okay? And this is really, really important. So the finger of God is an actual archetype that is that is about Aries, Virgo, and Scorpio, okay? Now, just want you to set your mind aside a little bit, because you're going, Simon, hold on, what about you? You know, Pluto's in Capricorn, and Chiron's in Pisces, and now you're talking about Scorpio, Aries. The yod itself as an archetype is Aries, Virgo, and Scorpio. Okay, and this is how it works. The one side of the yod, which in this particular instance is going to be reflected through Chiron in conjunct Leo. So this one side of the yod, i.e. this angle over here, is a Virgo Aries archetype, which is creating necessary paralysis to induce deep self-reflection. Okay, it's a paralyzing archetype that then creates the necessity for deep reflection to slow down. Okay, the other archetype, which is then this one here, that's from the moon or going up to Pluto, that is the archetype of Scorpio, and that is Scorpio Aries, and Aries being the focus point, okay, in the yod. Can everybody see this so far? And that is the archetype of creating necessary direction, so confronting those limitations within oneself, confrontation, Scorpio, that then leads to evolution, Scorpio. So you create a paralysis, which goes, I need to stop here, okay, right? This is a really difficult situation. And then that induces a sense of crisis, inner reflection, and then through the inner reflection, a confrontation of that limitation, and then that limitation then gets removed if you empower yourself in that situation. So it's a paralysis, confrontation, liberation archetype. So if you've got that in your chart, this is what's happening for you right now. Now, in this case, you've got Chiron in Pisces dealing with the deep wound of separateness. You've got the moon in Leo correlating to our feelings of special destiny. And then you've got the Pluto in Capricorn kicking in this nature of self-mastery, right? Let's take responsibility. Where's your centeredness within yourself? How are we creating these new definitions? How are we guiding ourselves? How are we steering our ship? So what's happening here is that you've got this yod where it's going, literally, this quote from Steve Jobs captures it beautifully. Your time is limited, Pluto and Capricorn. So don't waste it living somebody else's life, okay? The Leo archetype, the Pisces archetype, that fundamental first statement over there is the whole entire yod when it comes to Pisces, Capricorn, and Leo, okay? We are here to fulfill our special destiny. Every single one of us has got one in your own special way. It can be from fulfilling the destiny of being a great leader in I'm not talking politics, I'm talking a leader in sense of whatever you are engineered to become. You know, if you feel like you've got this great vision about how to create automobiles that are running on pure light energy, okay, that is that special destiny. And even if your destiny is just about to be a mother, just to nurture, both of them are equally the same. But how do you live that dream? Pisces, Capricorn. How do you go about every single day following that dream through discipline, through action, through getting up, etc., etc.? Capricorn. So the dream, Pisces, Capricorn, the fathership of it. And then the mother, or not the mother, but the inner child is Leo. So here it is again. Your time is limited, right? So in terms of the physical incarnation, right? You live forever because, of course, you are not just a finite body. You don't waste, so don't waste it living somebody else's life. This is how you start recognizing your sovereignty within yourself. You are the creator of your experience. Therefore, you take responsibility for it. Pluto and Capricorn. You are the creator. Pisces, Leo, okay? You see how this is working over. You have the dreams. This is my special destiny. I want to grow up to be a fireman, for instance, you know how a child says that. It's dreaming of the future. It's imagining it, Pisces, and its direction, Capricorn. You know, that's what I want to aspire to be. And it's from the chart, Leo. So don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Again, this whole archetype structure here, it's this conditioning that have been projected onto us, you know? So don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Leo, that's where the inconjunct is. That's where the God process is happening here. Don't let other people guide your ship. You guide it. You are the father of your own destiny. And it's your decision to accept that story, to surrender to that story, and to literally empower yourself through that experience. Sun, Scorpio. Mercury, Scorpio. All right? Mars, Venus. Total conjunction, total new relationship to self that is empowered through the heart. Okay? Look here, you can actually see it. Remember when I said to you that the finger of God in itself was the Scorpio, Aries, and Virgo archetype? Look there. There's the Sun and Mercury in Scorpio. There's the Uranus in Aries, and there's the stuff in Virgo. So that natural triode is actually being kicked in with other supporting planets. Okay? And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Come on. Courage, Aries, Uranus. Trines the moon, right? Quincunx, that Uranus, that Mars, Venus stuff over there. It's like fracture it, break it. Come on, guys, let's do this. All right? Heart, Leo, intuition, Saturn in Sag, trine the South Node, and again, the Neptune square over there, right? It's as clear as day, and this stuff is awesome. This stuff, I love it when it just like sits in front of us and says, here we go, this is the way to do it, this is how we're going to access this information, and this is how to read an astrology chart in that way. Because now you're walking away from this conversation, you're going, yeah, I've got this, I'm taking my life into control, and this is how you use the astrology. Not to understand the nature of your personality, and I'm going off on a tangent over here, guys, so I do apologize sincerely, but the moon's in Leo, so I might as well just go on my soapbox. But you get the point I'm trying to make, right? Understand it through ascension, understand it through activating your energy frequency, understand it through rising to the challenge of every single day going, I rock this place, this is my domain, this is my kingdom, and I'm going to make it the most powerful and most best place within myself, because it's my energy field that I'm interacting with. And this is how we move forward. This is how we move forward in this new reality, not succumbing to situations where it's like, oh, that just happened today, and so that I'm now defeated by that process. You know, fair enough, sometimes we can get overwhelmed by stuff, but I promise you the psychology needed going forward is not about changing the world outside, it's about changing yourself. And if you focus on yourself and you focus on your own internal battles and you rise above every single day and you access that complete wholeness within yourself, that's when you're going to rise. That's when you're going to change your stuff. That's when you're going to see the light within your own personal journey. Okay? Fantastic, everyone. I really hope that you enjoyed this chart of the day. I hope you're walking away from it inspired. In fact, I know you will be. I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah, have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye-bye.